Good morning, Nico. How are you? Good morning, Kim.
Hey, Donna.
Hey, good morning. Good to see you. Can I give you a hug? If you meet the Dalai Lama. Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Venerable Lamo. Good morning, Anna. Good morning, Javier. Good morning, Manisha.
Good morning.
Geshe Gellick is here. Yeshla is here.
so please turn to page 34 in the Gold Prayer Book, and we'll chant Shakyamuni Buddha's mantra, and then the verse of praise and mantra for Medicine Buddha, and then, let's see, and then the four measurables. Yes, all on page 34. Te ata o mune mune maha munaye soha. Te ata o mune mune Mahamunaye Soha. Te ata o mune mune Mahamunaye Soha. Bhagawan with equal compassion for all, whose name, when merely heard, dispels the suffering of the lower realms, dispel of disease and the three poisons, I prostrate to Medicine Buddha, lapis light. Te ata o bekanze, bekanze, maha bekanze, bekanze, raja samugate soha. Te ata o bekanze, bekanze, maha bekanze, bekanze, raja samugate soha. Te ata o bekanze, bekanze, maha bekanze, bekanze, Raja Samugate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings be inseparable from the happiness that is free from suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment for friends or hatred for enemies. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings be inseparable from the happiness that is free from suffering. May all beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment for friends or hatred for enemies. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings be inseparable from the happiness that is free from suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment for friends or hatred for enemies. And now on page 37, the verse of praise and mantra for Chenrezig and Green Tara. First the Mani mantra. Not veiled by any fault, white in color, whose head a perfect Buddha crowns in light, gazing compassionately at all beings, to you, Chenrezig, sing one, I prostrate. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Tare liberates from cyclic existence. Tutare liberates from the eight fears. Ture liberates from all sickness. I prostrate to the liberator Mother Tara. Om Tare Tu Re Soha. 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 Now turn to page 34. And Geshe will lead us in the refuge and bodhicitta prayer in Tibetan.
The reason of saying this prayer is to set up positive intentions, okay? Positive intentions. The best form of positive intention is to altruistic attitude, dedicating our life for well-being of all mother sentient beings. That's the best intention. So please, whether you can follow the prayer or not, so just meditate and set up positive intentions, bodhicitta motivations. Here more likely going to be wishing bodhicitta, wishing to dedicate the rest of our life, work for the well-being of all mother sentient beings. So then if you are able to follow the prayer, so that's good. If you are not able to say the prayer, then don't worry, just set up this motivation, okay? So being here in this spiritual sanctuary is to dedicate the rest of your life for well-being of all mother sentient beings. Sanje
Chudon Soki Chonam La Janchu Badu Dani Kapsuchi Dagi Chunyangi Pesanam Gi Dola Penchir Sangye Drupashok. Chudon Soki Chonam La Janchu Badu Dani Kapsuchi Dagi Chunyangi Pesanam Gi Dola Penchir Sangye Drupashok. Chudon Soki Chonam La Janchu Badu Dani Kapsuchi Dagi Chunyangi Pesanam Gi Dola Penchir Sangye Drupashok.
Didara sheja tampe chunje 와군자 너는지도 뭐 탐제게도 나게 최대 또 관계 투자 예손 다와던 잠만 배서 담배 전는데 뭐 원함자만 쳐서 Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All my friends on Zoom. Please, would you mind to take maybe a few moments to introduce to yourself? Few moments. Good morning, Vanarabatenzi Lamo. Good morning, children. Good morning, Scott Tolson. Good morning, Kim. Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Nicole. Good morning, Paul Cameron. Good morning, Anna Kim. Good morning, Peter. Good morning, Laura. Good morning, Fernanda. And good morning, Jovena. Good morning, Javier. Good morning, Marcelo, Fernanda. Kids, there are two kids, two kids. Yeah, one each one of them. Two kids, yeah. Can- Oh, thank you so much, thank you.
Couple of short announcements at the very end.
Thank you very much, thank you. I think kids don't need to sit here, so if they're free to, if they want to go out, please don't feel. So that's so today I'm going to read a little bit, okay? So from this book, only read a few pages, so they're just talking, never finish. So probably need to move on. Here, the subject, main subject is called called bodhicitta, chanchukisim. Yeah, it's a long way to go, but it's worth it to talk about. Bodhicitta, that's how it sounds like in Sanskrit. Bodhi, enlightenment, fully enlightenment. Chitta is the mind, your mind, our mind, wish to achieve bodhicitta for well-being of all mother sentient beings. Hope is to achieve fully enlightenment. Looks like for one own goal is to achieve fully enlightenment. Then another important goal is to benefit all living beings, to help them to enlighten. So that's called bodhicitta. Chanchuki sim, changchup, body. Sim is chitta, chanchuki sim. So here, semje nyamsu lemba ditang chiktsung res. Tōnyi mā tōna nying tāpāne simje tamche dēdēn du dēji dēmbā yubi chanchu simba yu cholas. So some practitioners, so before they develop bodhicitta, so they meditate on what's called shunyata, meditate on ultimate truth. There's true truth, conventional truth, and ultimate truth. So they're trying to meditate on ultimate truth, trying to experience ultimate truth. So then from that knowledge, and they're trying to develop sympathy, empathy, whatever you call bodhicitta. So they try to develop. But that order is not definite. You can't develop bodhicitta without meditating on shunyata. That's what's happening here. Currently, what is this? Generally speaking about bodhicitta, taye ben dowa yongji, donga pung nu mi la jube chowa soship tang. Nina teta pungji tablon tempe doship chila, shabe simji yin las. So now the question is, all the complication, problem that we experience simply being alive, it's not perfect. It's not perfect. There's all kinds of complications that we experience, not just us. Every breathing living being, they go through different level of complications, physical, mental. So now the question arises, is it possible to overcome? Is it possible to overcome from those complications, the problem? In the first place, even is it possible? Even it is possible. So when you think about complications, the complications that are related to the physical body, the complications that are related to the mind, mental complications. So complications that are related to the physical body is very much related to the birth. Yeah, birth, yeah. So how this birth happened? How this birth happened? Simply out of wish or force of actions, something to think about. How this birth took place, first place, how this birth took place is out of mainly from your wish you choose to be born in North Carolina, United States? Did you choose that, or like how it happened, how that happened? So I think it's always good to keep your mind open for any possibilities. So yeah, because of birth, that you have, we have bodies, and all breathing, living beings have different types of body because of birth. So now the question is, what's the primary cause for birth? Birth is like prayer, is like wish, is like force of actions. If the force of action, then what kind of force of actions produced by what kind of thought? What kind of thought? It's not this birth is not produced primary. Of course, there's like cooperative conditions, but the primary cause is not something physical. The primary cause is like you could say tendency, propensity or tendency. Then the question is the tendency of what kind of tendency of what kind of actions. That action is the result of thought. What kind of thought? So need to think. Okay. So now the question is it possible to cease the birth? Is it possible to cease the birth? Can you cease the birth? So then what is called, there's like intermediate state between death and rebirth. There are like 49 days period that are called intermediate state. That happened because of death. Death happened because of birth. See, it's all like one follows another. If there's no birth, there will be no death. If there's no death, there will be no pardo. So that means no more samsara, no more complications. So pretty much complications related to the physical body is pretty much gone. Pretty much gone. Does that mean you have no body? Yeah, you do have body, but not this kind of body. That kind of like age, have all kind of like issues, not that kind of body, different types of body. So that is very much developed within the mental development, produce or cease birth, death in the medium state. That's possible. So, so now, similar thing with the complication, the problem related to the mind. You don't need to cease. You can probably manage, subdue, reduce amount of like mental complications such as like stress, anxiety, fear. You don't have to cease the birth. You don't have to cease rebirth or death or so on and so forth. Within this body, there is a way to subdue mental complications. Okay, mental complications. So now the question is stress, anxiety, fear, all of that caused by what kind of thought? What kind of thought? So there's something to think about, I'm not asking you to believe. Keep your mind open, think what kind of mind that causes stress. Attachment, desire, jealousy, anger. Does those mind cause stress, anxiety, fear? So then it's time to work how to manage those thoughts and how to subdue, minimize those thoughts. Okay, these are the two challenges we all face. 대답보다 So now the first question is it possible or not possible? It is, according to Buddhism, is very possible. It's very possible. So now, if it's possible, second question is how to do. Sherabji chanjuji, Tetaponji tablam. Now the question is, what kind of method or practice that helps me from overcome from those complications? So now one method and one very important method is mentioned here as bodhicitta. Bodhicitta. 가져. 대외, so according to this is also commentaries based on this book written by Master Shantideva around 8th century, long time ago. This book is called Guide to Buddhist Way of Life. Chanchu Simji Tashunes. I don't remember which chapter, but Chanchu Simji Tashunes. Tewe Chunga Kunsewe. Tewe Chunga Tewe. So much been said in that chapter. I don't remember exactly what chapter number. There's so much been said. So then conclusion, Tewe, therefore, sadness, depressions, strong form of sadness, that's what you probably call depressions, sadness, many reasons. Ngao is like problem, complications, sufferings. Kun means all, sel means eliminate, chanju sem, bodhicitta. So maybe we don't understand the power of bodhicitta. If you can manage to develop bodhicitta, how much benefit you receive simply practicing bodhicitta, meditating on bodhicitta, thinking about the well-being of other sentient beings. Does that make sense at all? Do you think you'll get benefit thinking about other people's happiness? How? So this is very important things, this is very important things. Sem sangbo, sempa both mind, sangbo means gentle mind is needed for your own happiness. It's very much needed. So now do we understand that? Do we understand? Lack of gentle mind, that's why all the problems occur. What do you say? What do you say, all my friends online? Lack of, I think, gentle mind. Lack of gentle speech. Lack of gentle thought. Oh, so then action become wild. Our action become wild. See? Then it's like, the wild usually like considered as unpredictable. Unpredictable could change any moment. Wild. Lenyo dunga balap. Lenyo dunga balap. Lenyo dunga balap. Yeah, so this like wild wave that's produced by thought. That's not bodhicitta. It's like anger, jealousy, pride, all of that. If you have like bodhicitta, if you have gentle mind, you get immense benefit. That's the power. That's the power. How you can tell? Generate, think something. So when you are with other people, think other people's happiness. See what happens. See what happens. Bodhicitta. Okay. Oh. Otherwise, just talking, nothing happens. Just always talking. Mm. So there's nothing for others. There's nothing. There's zero for other. Even if there's zero for your husband, there's zero for your wife, there's zero for your partner. There's nothing. There's almost zero. Always, it feel like the think, feel always has to be about me. So that is almost like disease. It needs to be healed. Not just disease, it's like chronic disease. It needs to be healed. Means need to open up. If not 100%, maybe at least something. Because everybody is looking for receiving something. Everybody is hoping to receive something. So that's the fact. It's not just religious business. Everybody is hoping to receive something every single second. Everybody hoping to receive something good. So if you give something good, you kind of fulfill that what that person is wishing. So that person will have better mindset. So it's very interesting. So like sometimes when you drive, if you let somebody trying to get in, if you let that person get in, when person before that trying to get in, that person more likely will let that person in. There's the ripple of impact, positive impact, generosity, the positive impact. So that you see, it's not just in the book, you see also day-to-day life. So my point here, all my friends, including myself, is I think it's very much worth it to think or meditate on bodhicitta. Then you go from happiness to happiness. You go happy. Your life will move on happiness to happiness because power of bodhicitta, altruistic attitude that you have. Why we become so negative? Why we become so like as not because of there's nothing much to do with the physical body. It's all in the mind. That's why we become so paranoid, so negative, so like suspicious, doesn't trust anyone, so all of that. This is all mental things. It's not physical things. It's important, my friend. Okay. That's keep that in your mind, keep the benefit of bodhicitta in your mind, so then analyze whether you can achieve enlightenment or not. Right now it's hard, it's very difficult. So when you, like, for example, when you're trying to paint Buddha here, image, according to the traditions, before you paint that, what you see on the, what you call campus, huh? Campus. Yeah, campus. You see there's a lot of line. That's how we taught art school. You can't just paint like that. You can't just look at, no. First, make sure that you draw a lot of line down, a lot of line there. Make sure everything on the right place. Make sure there's no mistake. That's why you draw all this line. Every has measure, like, head, middle of the head, from 10 line, then there. The beginning, what you see, just bunch of line. What is the idea? Buddha's image. It doesn't have to be Buddha. It could be like flower or tree. Doesn't look like tree at all. There's no even clue. The idea is like to make beautiful looking like tankas. It's already there, it's already here, but it's not on there. It's like idea is already mentally constructed. It's already constructed. It's in here, it's not physical idea to put it there. Slowly you draw. Now you see kind of shape of the head, little bit there, so that, but still doesn't look very good or looks very messy. Line going here, line going there. So then slowly draw all the bodies. Then erase all the line. Now you kind of see it's like image. Oh, still a lot of paint needs to be done. Slowly, so then paint, so then the line, separate the paint, then eventually it becomes like beautiful. Right now it's hard to imagine that my own enlightenment, even there's no clue how that's going to be possible. It's already started. It's already started. It's only a matter of time. It's already started. Oh, like that. If you feel discouraged, so that's inspiration. So that's given by some master in some teachings. So that's what it looks like. Your own future Buddha right now. In the beginning, have no clue. Just like nothing there, but slowly, yeah, so that will take place. Okay. Once you generate bodhicitta within your mind stream, so then you have some clue. Oh, enlightenment could be possible, because I used to be so self-centered, self-centered. My whole life, entire life is very much driven by self-centered attitude. So now it's kind of like, I say, mellowing, huh? Mellowing, it's kind of mellowing. So I'm like more concerned about well-being of my wife, my husband, my children, my family, my neighbors. I really think about their happiness. Best case scenario, if I can help them to be happy, so that's what my aim is. But at least I restrain disturbing their happiness. You become more calmer, more peaceful. Your knowledge, your mind, your heart is slowly wide opening. Your thinking is become bigger. Everything. bodhicitta. Tadung chamze cham love, ze compassion, chamze or kindness, chamze. Ranshiji Madruba Tobe Shadabji Toda Je Tse Chabarchimuyos. So that is, we'll just skip that. So that's like talking about shunyata, emptiness, a little bit difficult. Huh? What is saying here, if you can, loving kindness, your compassion, loving kindness, if you can, as practice that within the knowledge of emptiness or shunyata, then it's become more powerful. So we'll skip that a little bit. Chiri nganzu chabgin mebe mishila migde, chabgin mebe mishila migde, te dunga le tabe dumba tabuchi chibi junzenisa. For example, just visualize someone who has no protectors. There's many of them, It's no shortage of that. There's many of them all over the world. As a recent example, like all the people that have been affected, life has been affected by earthquake in Morocco, children, all of them. Just visualize someone who's going through so much difficulties. Te dunga le tabi dumba tabuji chebi jumzenes. Nganzu ti dunga sumi tibires. So human nature, in the fundamental nature, human nature, When you see somebody's like, when you see somebody fall down, we don't usually say, wow, great, wonderful, what a beautiful day. You don't say that. That indicates you feel bad. Are you okay? That kind of like human nature kind of comes up, so like want to help. That's what we do. Now we make sure that how to access that. It's already there. It's almost like the diamond under the dirt. You can't see. Doesn't mean it's not there. It is there, but you just need to clean the dust or dirt, then there's diamond. In Buddhism, what's called Buddha nature. There's a nature, human nature. Fundamentally, something positive, something good. Need to learn how to nurture, how to bring it up, how to help to grow, grow fullest potential of human nature. Oh. So that clearly indicates. So now you may say, okay, why you do that? Why you say, are you okay? Why you say, are you okay? Why you say? That person may be not related to you. It's not your relative, it's just stranger falling down. Why you say, are you okay? Oh, human nature. Clearly indicate the human nature, something positive. When you say that, how you feel? When you get angry, how you feel? That's the questions. Oh. Your heart kind of mellows down. Just like it's a good thing, something good is happening. Dunga de teta dunga la tabi dumba tabi chibi jumzini nganzu de dunga swimi to be because we as swimi to is like that become like that person falling down or maybe hit by a car or whatever the situation is, it becomes for you, it becomes like kind of unbearable. Even though it's not your own suffering, somebody else suffering, become unbearable. That's why you ask that you go there, make sure that they're okay and what help they need. So you do that. Or, regardless whether you believe in not believing religion, you consider yourself as a religious person, not everybody pretty much does that. So that's human nature. Dunga de kangne jungwa to nu la sa, dunga de jupon nu ba tang sa. So see now that kind of leads to the Four Noble Truth. So Buddha's first teaching, Four Noble Truth. Some people may think, oh, why Buddhism always talk about suffering? You want to free yourself from suffering? Everybody say yes. So now the question is, what types of suffering that you are referring to? So now think, what is the benefit? Just know, what is the benefit? What is the benefit? Or is there any benefit at all thinking about suffering? If there any benefit, please help me. Is there any benefit? Is there any benefit about thinking about suffering at all? Or suffering is something that nobody should think about at all. Nobody should ever think about suffering. It's just suffering. There's nothing. What comes out of that? What do we say? Is there any benefit about thinking about suffering? How is about meditation on suffering? Does that make sense at all? Meditation on suffering. What's the benefit? Yeah, please help. Anybody want help? What is the benefit? What is the benefit about thinking about suffering?
Well, I'd say, first of all, you need to think about how to relieve it. And then secondly, you need to think about how not to have it happen again.
Very good point. So see, relief from suffering, is that the result of knowledge of suffering? So relief from suffering, is that come from understanding of suffering? Healing, say healing headache. Does that come from knowledge of a headache? Need to, yeah, please, Dr. Brown, yeah.
So I think there's a lot of benefit in thinking about suffering, because that's actually the way it is. You know, generally speaking, most of the time, our mind is always out of control. You know, 24/7. There might be a few minutes here and there, but I know when problems arise, and they do constantly, to think that life's supposed to be perfect and that suffering isn't the nature of our existence is just going to make us miserable. To have expectations of everything going well, samsara is not that way. It's chaotic. I think that's one of the advantages is realizing that when suffering arises, or what's your word? Complications, yes. When complications arise, that's just the nature of unenlightened existence. But as David said, understanding the nature of suffering and all its different levels and developing some faith, some kind of strong sense of possibility that me, this ordinary person, me, could be free, could actually achieve something beyond suffering is sort of like blows my mind. But wouldn't it be great to be free of that? And then the last thing is, or the other thing that comes to mind is that if I'm not aware of my own suffering and the suffering of others, there's no possibility for compassion to arise. Compassion depends upon recognizing my own compassion for myself and for others depends upon a recognition of suffering and then wishing it, me and others to be free of that. And so, I mean, without compassion, there are no bodhisattvas, there are no Buddhas. It all comes back down to recognition of this crazy nature of samsara that we all are caught, find ourselves caught in.
Thinking about suffering is common in the West or no? Common in the West.
No.
Why?
Because we just want everything to go well all the time. The best food, the best vacations, the best partner, the best car, the best,
looks like everything is not going well. Practically, it looks like everything is not going well. Even in developed country. That's where you look. Underdeveloped, poor country, they can look everything. They see every day. Nothing's going well. When they look at the roads, the air quality, look at road, the rules, law, no law, there's no traffic rules, people are driving all kinds of directions. So then they look up to developed world. Oh, looks like everything's working well. So when you come to developed country, to find out everything's not going well. So now where everything's going well? Where? Nowhere. So that means people in the West, I'm not sure, they just believe everything's going well, or they just, I don't know.
I tend to think that we do dwell on suffering a lot, and just that we get caught up in it and we don't go anywhere with it. I think the image that keeps coming to mind, and from my hardwired experience, is the image of Jesus on the cross. I mean, you think, oh, Buddhists dwell on suffering, isn't that awful? That image of the cross and the crucifixion is like, that's suffering. I mean, that's morbid to me, but it's manifest suffering. I just think, as you always say, for us to analyze, you got to think about, and we go from the awareness of suffering, that life is suffering, complications, obstacles, but we have to proceed to the question of why and its desire, and how do we quell desire. There is the third noble truth, cessation, and then finally we have to get to the fourth, the Eightfold Path, and then there's an answer to the problem of
that's correct.
suffering.
So now the question again here, do here in the West people refuse to think of suffering, or that's just something they don't think?
Geshe-la,
Yeah.
over here. Geshe-la,
Oh,
after working 40 years in the mental health field, I have to tell you, people think about suffering all the time in the West, but they think about their own suffering and they look for something to blame for the suffering. They want to find a reason for the suffering and they want a way to escape it, but they don't have the analysis to look at a deeper level like Buddhism offers. If you don't believe in karma, for example, and you don't have an understanding of the real causes of happiness, then you're bewildered when you're suffering. You have no understanding why it's occurring. You actually become preoccupied with your own suffering. It's like you're enclosed in a sphere of your own suffering and you can't get beyond it to think clearly. In my opinion, what Buddhism offers you is the ability to break through that and understand gain a greater perspective about suffering itself rather than being preoccupied with just your own suffering.
Thank you very much. So this camera is like, where is turning here, or can you see? Is it? Oh, there. Sorry. So maybe there's a difference. It's like in Buddhism, the very reason that you meditate on suffering to help you to understand there's a way out.
That's
There's a way out. You don't have to stuck. There's a way out. So they are like knowledge about suffering very much produced to look for solutions, not just think about suffering, not just think about suffering. There's no benefit. The very reason you think about suffering is you realize there's way out. And your focus is on that way out, method or technique. So then, as I mentioned, many scientists here, something that everybody, all my friends, including myself, need to understand that life is not perfect. Or even society say, oh, perfect. It's not true. Sorry, it's not true. It is not true. See, complication from the birth, we all experience. Oh, it's like we all experience. We may not remember, but we experience that. When we were in the womb, we experience all kinds of complications. Coming out, all kinds of complications, not just you, and also mother. After that, we are not getting younger, we are getting older. That's the fact. Nothing to be unhappy about. That just happened. That's how it happens. It's happened for everybody. And being unhappy about that, there's nothing you can do. You just drive yourself crazy. That's all. There's nothing good comes out of that, except, sometimes get sick. That's what expected. That is the part of the package. It's not like something extra added there. Eventually, death will happen. That's a part of the package. Losing loved one, that was expected. There's a pet, people, family member, that was expected. Don't you think, I think it's good to remind yourself those things. Don't just live in the fantasy world. These are the fact. People say, oh, you are going to encounter somebody who doesn't like you for some reason. Maybe no reason. What you can do, what you do, there's nothing you can do. It's complicated. You may think, like, oh, I'm going to fix. Maybe you may not be able to fix. It's complicated. Maybe start from not just the many causes, cooperative conditions, looking for something. I keep telling Gishisambo's nephew, oh, I want this. I wish I could have this. I wish I could have this. Like 13-year-old boys have so many wish. Oh, I wish this. I wish that. I wish put this. I wish this. Tell Ngawang, you could wish whatever you want to wish. Same time, you have to understand your wish may not come true. When that happens, you need to accept. Like that walking towards something to achieve may happen, may not happen. If it happens, that's good, that's wonderful, fantastic. If it doesn't happen, so then what do you do? If you're going out of your mind, that doesn't help. If you get so angry, scream, shout, throw things, doesn't help. Just accept. That's the part of the package. Loneliness, feeling of lonely, that's part of it. Just understand, just having an understanding of that reduce many unnecessary stress, automatically reduce, you just accept it. Among those all, seeing this body is suffering is very difficult. As I mentioned before, there's a hair on your palm. There's hair. You see? You don't see. There's hair. Chibalati pumitos, chibalati pumitos. Like we, like as like child, don't see it, hair. That's why I suggest if some of you have microscope, please look under the microscope, maybe you will see. When you see hair, please share here. Yeah, so I asked that long time ago, microscope, that's hair. This hair is hard to see. Similarly, this is hard to see. This is complication, it's hard to see. So that, all of that need to take into considerations. This is what life is about. I wish may happen, may not happen. If it happen, happy. If it not happen, what do you do? Deny? Or maybe I didn't do well. Maybe I would have, should have, could have. All of these mantras that you recite doesn't help. Even though would have, should have, all done may not happen. Oh, that was expected. So every day, remind yourself that. So then, when that things happen, when things doesn't go the way you want to go, you are okay. You are very aware of that. You are very aware of that. It doesn't become like surprise or shock. You are very aware. Of course, you wish that things go the way you want to go. You very much wish, but sometimes it doesn't go. So you can't act like you have control over everything. That's ignorance. That's ignorance. So now here in Buddhism, the very purpose of thinking about suffering is to seeking way out, not to blaming someone. The Venerable Tenzin Lama said it. Blaming something, the blaming game, you play, I play, we all play, all the time. What's the result? There's no result. There's no result. Why you play it again and again? Why you say this word, been there, done that? Why doing it again? What does it mean, been there, done that? Why is it been there, done that? What does it mean, doing it again? So, here, the questions in the very beginning, is there any benefit about thinking about suffering? Is there any benefit? In fundamentally, no one's wants suffering. No one's. No one's. Buddhist doesn't want sufferings. Atheist doesn't want sufferings. People who believe in God, they don't want sufferings. Animal, they don't want sufferings. Nobody wants sufferings. Oh. Then why? Why we are suffering? Why? Not because of our wish. Why we are suffering? Complications. Oh, complications. So therefore, really needs to do thorough analysis. So much that is been caused by our thinking. Thinking caused so much problem. Our thinking caused so much problems. So it's been our thinking, human thinking, causing so much problems since the human civilization began. So now it's become more, maybe it's getting out of hand. All this, like so many problems we human created by our thought. Our thought. It's not, no. If everybody's practicing bodhicitta, nobody cause problem for nobody. See, like when I say human cause, of course, 100 years ago, there's no internet. There's no internet for public, for government, for health. That time, nobody's talking about cyber crime, all of that. People are like stealing people's money from the. Now all these problems, like all over the world, people are doing all kinds of things, like caused by who? Animal didn't create internet. People create internet. People create. So we have to admit. So there's so much that we can. So the bottom line here, according to Venerable Tenzin Lama, blaming. Yeah, say if you are thinking in the West, people do think of suffering, but solutions of blaming, that's not going to help. That's not going to help. That's not going to help. You can blame, as I said before many times, I thought my unhappiness caused by Geshe Sambos. Many times. When Geshe Sambos goes to India for 3 months, not everything's happiness. That clearly proves it's my mind. It's my mind, not Geshe Sambos. So like that. So that's why I'm saying blaming games doesn't go well. So think, especially when you are facing suffering, you need talking probably here in the West, therapies. You go to talk. Buddhism, think again, think. That's how you overcome. Problem caused by thinking, you overcome from that problem caused by thinking. Oh. So there's so many books been translated, okay? About bodhicitta. Please read, if you are interested about bodhicitta, please read the books that's composed by His Holiness Dalai Lama. So then you get benefit because His Holiness practice day in, day out. His Holiness practice. And now recently in Ladakh, His Holiness Dalai Lama said in the public that when you look at the Mahayana path, there's 5 of them, part of accumulation, part of preparation, part of seeing, part of meditative, part beyond learning. There's 5 of that. Part beyond learning, there's enlightenment. His Holiness publicly said he was here. That means His Holiness Dalai Lama is Bodhisattva. Tibetan people believed he was Cheresik or Lokiteshvara, but His Holiness, usually His Holiness say, oh, I have no any realization, I have nothing, no. Recently, Ladakh, only like months ago, Ladakh, publicly, kind of encouragement. After decade, something can be accomplished. So His Holiness is no celestial being. You probably saw, His Holiness. It's not like mythical. Like it's like us, human being. Publicly, that's like a huge encouragement. His Holiness Dalai Lama publicly said in Ladakh that he was here and hoping to reach here, meaning probably already have experience of shunyata. You can't reach here without having experience of shunyata. So when you finish this and this, pretty close, doesn't take long. Publicly said, his Holiness said he actualized path of accumulations within his mind stream, hoping to generate path of preparation so that in our lifetime there are bodhisattvas, and who knows here maybe. So can you imagine like receiving teachings from actual bodhisattva? How that karma you created, how that karma has been created. Amazing. So hope, there's hope. So please, now time is running out. So please read the Bodhicitta, the teachings by His Holiness Dalai Lama. There's a lot of books. If you are not able to buy, you can rent. You can rent. Oh, you can rent. Sorry, you can borrow. My English is getting older. So you can borrow. So no rent, you can borrow. So the books, so from His Holiness Dalai Lama, you can probably read, okay? Yeah, I'll stop here. There's some announcement, then I will stop. Thank you very much. Thank you, children, translating people in Patagonia, all the people of Patagonia. Thank you very much. See you next Wednesday.
Just a couple of quick announcements before we go. This coming week, we have a special visiting teacher. Gendon Hendrick will be here. He'll be here Tuesday and Wednesday evenings, take a break on Thursday, and then he's teaching a weekend workshop. So on Tuesday, he'll be teaching on conscious aging. Some of us could benefit from that. And on Wednesday, he'll be teaching on faith and the Buddhist path. This weekend, he'll be covering Lama Tsongkhapa's In Praise of Dependent Origination. So that should be a very interesting workshop on emptiness. And on Sunday morning during this time period, he will be teaching on how to develop an altruistic attitude. So it'll be a very rich assortment of teachings from, we're quite familiar with Don, and he's a very wonderful, very gentle, gentle-minded and gentle-spoken person. So I do hope you'll come and enjoy some of those teachings. And then Allie has an announcement as well.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Allie. I just wanted to make an announcement that we're going to be starting up the children's program again. If you'd like to join us, please volunteer. Tara and I are going to be out in the lobby, and we're going to be looking at the curriculum. There's already a curriculum that was created. We're thinking of, there's Tara right there. We're thinking of having it at first once a month, perhaps the second Sunday, but be on the lookout for more announcements on when we're going to start that. It's going to be for children, I believe 5 to 18. So please help us volunteer so we can get this going. We don't have any children here except 2 today. But as you've noticed, we'd like to get some children back in. It's a curriculum based on kindness, compassion, things that they will be learning. And it's also exposing your children to a beautiful community where they can be with like-minded people. Thank you.
Okay, please turn to page 246, and we'll read the dedication verses from Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life. 246. May all beings everywhere, plagued by sufferings of body and mind, obtain an ocean of happiness and joy by virtue of my merits. May no living creature suffer, commit evil, or ever fall ill. May no one be afraid or belittled with the mind weighed down by depression. May the blind see forms and the deaf hear sounds. May those whose bodies are worn with toil be restored on finding repose. May the naked find clothing, the hungry find food. May the thirsty find water and delicious drinks. May the poor find wealth, those weak with sorrow find joy. May the forlorn find hope, constant happiness, and prosperity. May there be timely rains and bountiful harvests. May all medicines be effective and wholesome prayers bear fruit. May all who are sick and ill quickly be freed from their ailments. Whatever diseases there are in the world, may these never occur again. May the frightened cease to be afraid, and those bound be freed. May the powerless find power, and may people think of benefiting each other. For as long as space remains, for as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. Now, 244 and 245 for the long life prayers. First, for the one for His Holiness. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you're the source of all happiness and good. All-powerful Chenrezig Tenzin Gyatso, please remain until samsara ends on page 245 for Khyentse Rinpoche Jetsun Losang Dialog. The one who masters speech at a very young age, the one with great patience, who received the name Avatare, the one with great precision, who spread the teachings of Lama Tsongkhapa on bliss and void, Lama ornament of the yellow hat tradition, please remain until samsara ends. And now go to the back, inside back cover for the prayer for the swift return of Lama Tsongkhapa Rinpoche, and also for the long life prayers for Geshe-la and Geshe-sang. Peerless teacher and assembly of the children of victorious one, Shravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas, victorious Losang father and sons, along with the lineage masters, all the objects of refuge of the infinite lands, please bestow the virtue and goodness of accomplishing this prayer here and now. Holding and spreading the Muni's precious and complete teachings through explanation and practice, you wore the armor of patience that is never discouraged. Incomparable venerable Guru, to you I make request. While striving single-pointedly for the sake of victorious one's teachings, the sole gateway through which all benefit and happiness emerge, and for mother living beings, you suddenly depart to peace. What a great loss! Nevertheless, through the undeceiving truth of the blessings of the ocean of the three jewels and the great waves of bodhicitta of the children of victorious ones, may the smile of a reincarnation swiftly beam in glory for fortunate disciples. Supreme Guide, you lead us on the many paths of virtue. A shining sun, you give us the best of excellent explanations. Supreme virtuous friend, you are a constant Dharma companion. Lama who has renounced fame, may you ever remain. You have steadfast imprints of virtuous qualities and keep the instructions of the glorious Guru in your heart. You pass day and night with noble activities. Great virtuous friend, may you have a very long life. And now 7 to our mantras to benefit all beings. Om Tare Tu Re Soha. 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 Om Tare Tu Re Soha.
Gracias, Ale. Gracias.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Gracias, Ale. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you, Donna.